Hey there my dudes, I hope you're all doing well today and welcome to a video where I'm actually here. My summer semester has been killing me when it comes to time, but here I am with a story time. So I know that story times normally don't have intros, so if you want to know when the story time starts, right here, because I have a new editing software, so editing me do something cool. I'm gonna pretend she did something cool, because if she didn't, then I look like a complete and utter loser. But yeah, I also have a new microphone. I have a camera because it turns out my mom's just been hiding this stuff. It's just like she had a camera but had no idea how to use it, and so she just put it into storage. And I'm just like, Mother, you had a camera this whole time? What? So yeah, now I took it and now I'm using it because I am a hooligan. Anyways, I don't think there's much else I have to say. Just that I really missed you guys. I really missed doing this. And man, it's been a while. I can't say this is my official return because my fall semester is going to start, and that's not going to be fun either because I have like 4 classes and I've been struggling with just 2. So, but you know, at least I came back for now. Kind of like an estranged father. I say, here I am, and then I disappear. So don't keep your hopes up that I'll be here forever. But yeah, I'll try to record when I can, and I just miss you guys. But you know, unfortunately, life tends to get in the way. But yeah, you know what? No more talking. Let's just get into the video. You came here for a story time. I'm gonna give you your story time. So yeah, missed you guys, love you guys, and here you go. Okay, my dudes, it's hecking voiceover time, and I gotta say, hopefully this is the last time I have to record this voiceover, because I swear to goodness I keep messing up. So I'm so sorry if you hear cars racing by and all that. It's just because, man, I really suck at doing voiceovers. Alright, so I have my notes here, because if I don't have notes, I'm just gonna completely mess up, lose my train of thought. So yeah, hopefully this is the last take I do, because I swear I've done like 50 takes and all of them have been failures. Alright, so this is going to be a story time about my time at a hotel, as you probably know from the title. So that's why I decided to draw Charlie from Has Been Hotel, because you know, hotels, Has Been Hotels, like my genius big brain, it's too big. But yeah, alright, so the way I got into the situation is that we had taken a 3-day trip to my hometown because my mom and me and my little sister have lived in that place for a very long time. And basically, when you live in a place for a very long time, you tend to know the places that are going to be populated with people and the places that are not so well known. And surprise, surprise, people aren't exactly racing to hike up a mountain at 7 in the evening, you know, especially because, you know, things start to get darker, you go down a mountain, it gets kind of spooky, maybe a little haunting, ooh. But yeah, it's just like we were doing activities that basically not a lot of people were doing. So, you know, it was fun because anything that involves no people is always fun. Am I right? But yeah, the way I got into this certain situation was because, you know, in this hotel, you could bring dogs, so we had our dogs with us. But one of the things my parents wanted to do was a thing the dogs couldn't do. So they wanted to go out to eat with my older sister because, you know, we haven't seen her in a long time because she's moved back to my hometown, whereas we still live near Pittsburgh. And yeah, they were just like, okay, we want to go do this activity, but we can't exactly because that would require leaving the dogs at the hotel. And one of the things about my dogs is that they have separation anxiety, it seems, because it's like they bark, whine, and scratch. It's just like, and they get so nervous. And I understand. If I were a dog, I wouldn't exactly be happy being left in a place with unknown sounds and my owner's not being there, right? So, you know, it's just like, it was just this discussion that, oh man, what are we gonna do then? Because if we leave them there, we might get complaints from the other patrons because of all the noise. So, me, with my absolute generosity, I was just like, okay, peasants, calm down. I have 2 computer assignments due at midnight, and I have a cultural anthropology test due on Saturday because the day was Friday. So I was just like, it makes sense that I just sacrifice and stay home at the hotel and do my work while you guys go out. And you know, it's just like They're like, huh, you know, best daughter, that makes a lot of sense. And I was just like, of course it does. I'm a genius. But yeah, we came to an agreement. I would stay home, watch over the dogs, get my work done, and they would go out, you know, have a good time, and, you know, do whatever they gotta do. So yeah, they got dressed to go out. I got dressed to stay at the hotel, and everything was great. So they left, said good luck with your work, and I was just like, okay, good luck with whatever you're gonna do. And so yeah, I was left alone at the hotel, and you know, I wouldn't have minded, you know, I was having a good time. I had some leftover pizza in the fridge, I had some bagels, and I had a muffin from breakfast left over, and I was just like, you know what, this is the introduction to a very good night, because I was just like, I finally get some privacy, I'm gonna get this stress of my homework off my back, and everything's gonna be great. Like, what could go wrong? Oh, naive little me. Of course you wouldn't know what would go wrong. But yeah, so I was just having a good time doing, well, not really having a bad time doing my work, but you know, I was having a good time in general because I was getting my work done. Until me and my dogs started to hear noises. And you know, me and my dogs have one thing in common, and that is that we're both riddled with anxiety. Um, and yeah, so it's just hearing these footsteps out in the hallway every little time was kind of, you know, stressful, but I was just like, you know, I'm making a big deal out of nothing. Footsteps, you're gonna hear footsteps at a hotel, right? It's just like, it's obvious, there's other people. But these types of footsteps were like the type of footsteps where it's just like um, running, you know? It's just like, but like not running, like kind of a little sprint. And it was kind of weird because I was just like, what the heck is someone doing sprinting in the hallways at 8 in the night? It's just like, it's very weird. But I was just like, nope, I'm just being paranoid. I have to calm down and just relax. The work is getting to me. But yeah, my dogs were also getting kind of triggered because, you know, they're not used to constantly hearing footsteps, especially little running ones. So yeah, I was trying to calm them down. I was trying to do my work, but then it started escalating because these little sprinting footsteps were no longer sprinting. It was full on running, pounding on the floor. And I would hear these footsteps on the third floor because we were on the second floor. So the footsteps were on the third floor, and sometimes they'd be on my floor, and sometimes they'd be on the bottom floor. And I'm just like, what the heck is going on? Why is there so much running in the hallways? It's like, that's not normal. Not that I would know, but you know, I assume that's not normal. So, yeah, it's just like constantly hearing running. It's just like it was starting to grind on my nerves because it's just like it's unnerving to hear so much running. And it's like it was the type of running where it would start and then it would stop and then it would start and then it would stop, and it was so weird. I was just like, who is running in the hallways? But throw some hands. But yeah, it's just like, so there's running, and then it was accompanied by laughing and guys yelling. And oh my goodness, let me tell you, one of my little triggers when it comes to being anxious is guys yelling, especially guys around my age, because this is like, I've never had good experiences with guys around my age laughing and yelling. So I was just like, oh geez, here we go. I'm gonna have, you know, my little anxiety go through the roof, and then my dogs were also, you know, whining and yipping, like, you know, that little yip dogs do. It's like not a full-on bark, but it's like a distressed yip. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's cute, but it's also like, oh, you poor bean. But yeah, so they were getting stressed out, I was getting stressed out, and you know, I was just like, oh man, I really hope my parents come home right about now, because it seems like staying at this hotel by myself was the worst idea ever. I just wish they were home with me right now. And what would you know, the minute I was thinking that, I heard a quick knocking on my door. You know, a quick banging on my door, more likely. And in my stupid, anxiety riddled brain, I was just like, yes, it is my little sister banging on the door because she has a tendency to do that. And so I was just like, oh, finally, they're home. And so I went to the door. Every time I look back at this situation, all I can think of, you know, I should have done something differently. A main thing, I shouldn't have gone to open that door. I should have, just waited to see if they would open it with the key card because they had their own key card. And I think, oh, I should have looked at the peephole. There's so many things I should have done that I didn't do because I was a scared little fool and I was so excited. I just wanted to see my family, It's just like I'm hearing all these spooky noises and I know I'm basically acting like a kid, scared all over again by the noises that, aren't exactly anything that's scary. But I'm spooked and I want to see my family. And I'm just like, I should have taken a moment to calm down and just realize that, it was way too early for them to have come home. But I didn't. And I opened that door because I was just like, oh, I just want to see my family just to see that they're not there. And I'm confused for a second because I'm just like, hey guys, you're home. And it's just like, there's no one there. And so I hear a noise to my left. And all I see is a person running, which I think explains the running noises I've been hearing in the halls for like 30 minutes. And that was because, most likely, these hooligans were knocking on people's doors and running away like little high schoolers, not even high schoolers, little middle schoolers, basically. And so I was very confused because there's this dude running in a gray t-shirt, which is all I can remember, which means that I would be horrible at, forensic investigations. What did the suspect look like, ma'am? I can't tell you much, but I know he had a gray t-shirt. Just like, that's does not help at all. But yeah, it's just, all I saw was a dude running in a gray t-shirt, and that's it. That's all I remember. And I remember staring at, the guy running away. I'm just like, it's just like, there's a dude running away, but where's my family? Like, I still hadn't made the connection that that dude was the one that had knocked on my door. So I just look out in confusion. It's just like, and, try to step out, see where my family is, but, still holding the door. Until my little black dog, Precioso, runs out the door because he too is excited to see my mother because, he's a little mama's boy. And he runs out the hall. And for a second, in my panic that my dog is now out in the hall, unleashed, I was just like, wait! And, I let go of the door. Which, if you've been to a hotel before, which, I'm not going to assume for people, but, just in case you're a person that's been to a hotel before, you probably know how the doors at hotels work. And, you probably are realizing that me letting go of that door was the stupidest mistake I could have ever done. But yes, I saw my little dog running out to the stairs, and I was just like, come back here, you little dog. It's just like, and so I go after him. And my sweet, precious little white dog, Dulce, she sees me leaving the door. And of course, I don't see her step out the door, but I know she does, because she's soon by my side. And I'm just like, of course, she follows me everywhere. Why wouldn't she have followed me to the hallway? And so I grab my dog, scoop him up, and just as I scoop him up, I hear a click. And in my head, I'm just like, please don't let that click be what I think it is, because if it is, I am doomed. And I turn around to see a door locked. And I'm just like, this can't be happening to me. I am out in the hallway. Let me paint you a picture. I am out in the hallway in my pajamas, basically, because my pajamas were my black Deadpool t-shirt, very faded, very baggy, men's silk boxers, which were not real silk, but it's just like that silky material of men's boxers, and barefoot. With my hair, unbrushed, I basically look like I'm ready for bed because I was ready for bed. And I have two dogs in my arms. They're two small dogs, but two dogs in my arms that are starting to get heavy. And I look like an absolute hooligan, basically. And my phone was in my room. Everything was in my room. I don't even have a key card at this moment because, I wasn't going to step out in the hall. I had no need for a key card. And so, looking at this door, I realized I'm locked out with no way back in, with two dogs, with no way to call for help. I am stuck out here. And for a moment, I almost, start panicking. And I'm just like, what am I going to do? And I start, rattling the door, just like trying to get it to open, even though it's not going to open, obviously. It's meant to be locked. And I almost start crying because I am so upset. I'm so scared. Because that's just how it works with anxiety. It's just like little situations that other people would calmly take on or just be irritated by are just like turned into these massive situations by my brain, And so I am so ready to just sit down and just start sobbing. But I don't know, it just, that little survival's instinct that sometimes hits people, it hit me at that moment. And I'm just like, sitting here at this door looking like a miserable, helpless little idiot is not going to help me. I'm still going to be stuck outside with my dogs with no way back into my room if I don't do something. So I do what I know I have to do, and that is go to the main lobby and ask for a key card into my room. And at this moment, I am terrified because I'm just like, I can't go down there looking how I do with my two dogs. I'll look ridiculous. But I realize there is no way back into my room if I don't face this fear of a person judging me, right? Because of how I look. So I'm just like, you know what, dogs? We're going to face this together, and we're going down there to get a key card and go back into the room. And so I do. I march down the hallway with as much dignity as I can muster, all the way to the elevator. And, it's just like, just at first I was very confident because there was no people in the hallway, and I'm like, this is great. There's going to be no people down there. How wrong I was. I didn't even have my mask. And, the minute I step out of that elevator into the first floor to the lobby, I am confronted with my worst nightmare. And that is basic. I don't know what college dudes were having a party or what, but there was like 20 guys in the cafeteria, from what I remember. And I step out of that elevator and I'm like, oh, goodness help me. There are so many people down here, and that is not good. One, for my social anxiety, and two, corona time, right? It's just like, oh geez, I wish I had stayed in my room. I wish I hadn't opened that door, but here I am. And so I try to keep as much distance as I can because they're in the cafeteria and I'm in the little hallway leading to the lobby. So it's just like I could stay far back, but I was so terrified because I didn't want anyone to see me, which fortunately I have a tendency to kind of disappear in situations like this. People don't exactly notice me a lot, even when I do look ridiculous. So I head to the lobby where there's this lady there, and oh man, that lady was so nice, and not in in a pitying way. I was just like, oh, what's wrong? Just in the way that she treated me like this was completely normal. It's just like, oh, how are you doing? It's just like, and I explained the situation to her. I am on the verge of tears, and this lady was just, treating me. It's just like as if it's normal, as if everything's okay, and that made me feel better because if someone else treats you like everything is okay, then surely everything must be okay, right? And so she asked me some questions about the rooms, just like how many nights we were supposed to be staying, the name on the freaking room thing, all that. And so I answer the questions and I'm calming down, and she hands me the key card, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, this lady is so nice. I love her to pieces. I hope she gets a raise. It's just like because I was calming down and it's just like everything's okay. I got my key card. All I have to do is head back to my room. And so I inch past the dudes and I head to the elevator, and I'm just like, whew, relief, like it's over. Like there's gonna be no people up in the second floor, so I'm good. I just gotta get to my room. And oh boy, life was not done kicking my butt because I head out of that elevator and I go down the hallway, and my worst nightmare. There's two guys walking down that hallway. It's just like, and they're like around my age, which is even more embarrassing. It's like because it's just like people around my age is just like it makes me nervous. Like older people, it's just like no big deal. Younger people, well, no big deal. But if it's around my age, it's terrifying. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to walk down this hallway looking how I do with my two dogs, past these hooligans that are most likely the ones that knocked on my door, and I was just like, oh geez, I can't do this. But obviously I have to. I can't escape that situation. They're going to see me. I have to do this. So again, I muster up my dignity. I walk past them, and they start laughing at me. It's just like, and I'm pretty sure that's the moment I knew these must have been the clowns that had knocked on my door. And yeah, I got to my room. It's just like, I did it. But obviously at the end I started crying because it's just like, it was a very intense situation for me. Maybe not for other people, but for me it was. But yeah, I did it, and let me just say, dudes, even if it feels like you can't do something, sometimes when you're in situations like this, you gotta do what you gotta do. And even though I felt like I was dying on the inside, I did it, and that's just how life goes. Life sucks, and well, sometimes you just gotta push through it. And I'm running out of time, so, outro time, baby. Okay, outro time. I kind of ran out of time during, like, the video, because, like, I realized I had only recorded, some segments of the drawing before I ran out of time. And then I was just like, oh, geez, I'm just talking, and here I am. So I know I kind of just, like, had an abrupt ending. But, it's just like, it is what it is. Like, that was the story, and then it came to an end. But yeah, I'm just here to tell you, yeah, I'm glad you stuck it out to the end, my dudes. And also, I wanted to show you the thunderstorm. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see. Also, I don't know if you can actually hear that, but it's kind of crazy out there. But yeah, there's not much I gotta say, It's just like, thanks for watching, thanks for being here, and yeah, until next time, my dudes. Whenever that is. Okay, love ya, see ya, goodbye.